The evening light filtered through the tall windows of our brownstone, casting a golden hue over the living room where toys were scattered like confetti from a forgotten party. I was exhausted, my shoulders aching from a day of endless meetings and the constant juggle of being a single mom to little Emma, who is now 3 and a whirlwind of energy. Sophia, the nanny I'd hired 6 months ago, was a godsend, 25, vibrant, with sun-kissed skin and a laugh that could melt away the stress of any bad day. She had just finished bathing Emma and was rocking her to sleep in the nursery upstairs. I poured myself a glass of wine, sinking into the couch, my mind replaying the chaos of my divorce from Mark 2 years prior. He had left for someone younger, someone freer, and I had buried myself in work and motherhood, convincing myself that was enough. But lately, loneliness had crept in like a shadow, whispering doubts about my desirability at 38. Sophia descended the stairs quietly, her blonde hair tied back in a loose ponytail, wearing a simple tank top and yoga pants that hugged her athletic frame. "Emma's out like a light," she said softly, her blue eyes meeting mine with that warm, knowing smile. I thanked her, offering her a glass of wine as a small token of appreciation. We sat on the couch, closer than usual, talking about everything and nothing, her dreams of traveling, my frustrations with corporate life. The air between us felt charged, electric in a way I hadn't noticed before. As the conversation lulled, she reached out, tucking a strand of my dark hair behind my ear. Her touch lingered, her fingers brushing my cheek. My heart raced, a flush creeping up my neck. I should have pulled away, but I didn't. Instead, I leaned in, our faces inches apart, her breath warm against my lips. Then it happened, her lips pressed against mine, soft and tentative at first, then deepening with a hunger that surprised us both. The kiss was fire, igniting something dormant inside me, a spark of passion I thought was long extinguished. Her hand cupped my face, pulling me closer, and I responded, my fingers tangling in her hair. The world faded, it was just us, 2 women lost in a moment that shattered every preconception I had about myself. When we finally parted, breathless, her eyes searched mine for regret, but there was none, only a thrilling awakening. That night marked the beginning of my lesbian era, born from the lips of my daughter's nanny, a kiss that rewrote my story in ways I never imagined. Approximately 2,980 characters including spaces. The days following that kiss were a whirlwind of confusion and exhilaration, my mind replaying the softness of Sophia's lips every waking moment. I found myself staring at her as she played with Emma in the park, noticing the curve of her neck, the way her laughter lit up her face, things I had overlooked in our professional dynamic. Guilt gnawed at me. Sophia was my employee, young enough to be mistaken for a peer but with a power imbalance that made my stomach twist. Yet, the pull was magnetic, I craved her presence, her touch. One afternoon, after Emma's nap, Sophia cornered me in the kitchen while I prepared snacks. "About the other night," she started, her voice low, cheeks pink. I froze, knife mid-chop on an apple. "I don't regret it," she continued, stepping closer, her hand grazing my arm. "Do you?" Her vulnerability disarmed me. I set the knife down, turning to face her. "No," I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. "But this is complicated." She nodded, understanding flickering in her eyes. Before I could overthink, she kissed me again, this time with confidence, her body pressing against mine against the counter. My hands found her waist, pulling her in, the kiss growing. Heated, tongues exploring with an urgency that left me dizzy. We broke apart when Emma's cry echoed from the monitor, reality crashing back. That evening, after tucking Emma in, Sophia stayed late. We talked on the couch, boundaries blurring as wine flowed. She confessed her attraction had been building for months, drawn to my strength, my kindness. I shared my fears, of judgment, of losing control, of what this meant for my identity. But words gave way to actions. She straddled my lap, kissing my neck, her hands slipping under my shirt. I gasped, desire flooding me as I reciprocated, our bodies moving in sync on the cushions. Clothes peeled away slowly, revealing skin flushed with anticipation. Her breasts were perfect, nipples hardening under my touch as I kissed down her chest. She moaned softly, guiding my hand between her legs, where she was already wet. My fingers explored her folds, circling her clit with growing boldness. She arched, whispering encouragements, her own hand delving into my pants, mirroring my movements. We came together in a symphony of gasps, her name on my lips for the first time in ecstasy. Lying entwined afterward, sweat slicked and sated, I realized this was no fluke. It was the start of something profound, a lesbian awakening sparked by the nanny who saw me truly. Approximately 2,995 characters including spaces. Exploring this new facet of myself felt like stepping into uncharted territory, exhilarating yet terrifying, especially with Sophia living under the same roof part-time. Mornings became stolen moments, quick kisses in the hallway while Emma watched cartoons, her giggles oblivious to the tension. Sophia's confidence grew, she teased me with lingering touches, a brush of hips in the kitchen that sent shivers down my spine. One weekend, Mark took Emma for his visitation, leaving the house empty and ours. Sophia arrived with a bottle of champagne, her eyes sparkling with intent. We didn't waste time. In the living room, she pushed me against the wall, kissing me fiercely, hands roaming freely. "I've wanted this since that first kiss," she murmured, nipping my earlobe. I tugged at her dress, fabric pooling at her feet, revealing lace lingerie that made my mouth water. We moved to my bedroom, a space once shared with a man now claimed by this vibrant woman. On the bed, she took control, straddling me, grinding against my thigh as I gripped her ass. Her moans filled the room as I slipped fingers inside her, thrusting rhythmically while sucking on her nipples. She returned the favor, her tongue expert on my clit, building me to orgasm with skilled flicks. We experimented, 69 position, bodies aligned perfectly, tasting each other simultaneously until waves of pleasure crashed over us. Afternoons turned into explorations of toys I had hidden away, so